Good
the slides.
afternoon.
Yes. Show the
Yes,
slides.
yes, we can. I see the slides and we are live.
Okay.
Welcome, Yacine. I'm really very happy that you answered our invitation and you accepted your invitation to give a tech talk in AUI Tech Talk. I would like just to remind of the concept. The concept of AUI Tech Talk is to invite graduates from Al Akhawain University, students that former students that graduated from Al Akhawain University, and especially from the School of Science and Engineering, and feature them as well-known managers, technology specialists, and give them the opportunity to present and share with the community their knowledge and expertise. I'm really happy today to welcome Yacine Ghanjaoui. I had the opportunity to to graduate from his cohort like in 2004, decades ago. We are not that old, Yacine, but I will be really happy to see what you have to share with us today. And I leave the floor to you to present digitalization in shipping and logistics. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Huda. I hope you can hear me well, and hope that the bandwidth will cope with us during this presentation. I'm really happy to be here with AUI a long time ago since we didn't meet. So I'm very happy to be in this panel and to discuss with you and to give some insights about this topic, digitalization in shipping and logistics. So as you may know, a lot of technology is shaping also this industry, and the rate at which disruptive and accelerating digital technologies appear, it varies across firms and sectors, and there is no exception with the shipping and logistics as well. So as a result, so companies undergoing digitalization will have different results depending on the stage. And I think from my experience with my company, I mean, we have started this journey a long time ago, many years ago, and I think and I hope that I will share that knowledge with you at a certain extent. I mean, to not go into some details, some confidential data as well. So thank you again. As you may know, the maritime industry solutions provide a platform of modernizing the container terminal. So we have this container industry as well, which is a big industry, and the technology is shaping also this industry. Also, we have the terminals, we have the ports, and we have the operations in the shipment in terms of processes and operations in the business offices. So get the most of, from the digital transformation to enable some streamlined processes and improve safety and security is one of our major challenges in this industry, because security and safety is one important, challenge that we are facing every day with whether our personal or our data. So it's really a challenging topic that we will be discussing here. So before I go through details, I just present myself, a quick presentation. So I'm Yacine, based in Casablanca right now, and I am graduated from Al Akhawain in 2004, as Huda said. So it's the same year, and I've got an MBA in 2017 from Hassania with the École des Ponts. As a background and experience, professional experience, I started as system engineer and moved to as an IT manager to Al Jazeera channel, which is a good experience for me because I had the two different experiences from IT and from the broadcasting fields, which is a rich experience. And then since 2008, I started with Maersk as an IT manager for the Maghreb region. In 2008 and 10, I moved to a new position with the Mediterranean regions with another scope, a bigger scope as a technical operation service delivery manager. And after in 2016, and due to an org structure again, so the Mediterranean region has been disappeared, and all the countries from the north, they moved to European region, and from the south, countries from the south, they moved to Africa region. So I got this IT governance and service delivery manager position for Africa region. My field of expertise is about mainly the IT service management and IT operation management. and some background as well on the digital transformation, as I had the chance to participate in a lot of transformation and development projects with Maersk, and transforming our businesses and our business processes, and also onboarding some new companies within Maersk, and try to make sure that they are, on board in terms of technology standards, and in terms of all our standards. So this is in a high level overview of my presentation, and let's start about the topic right now. Share with you the agenda for today's talk. So I will introduce the logistics ecosystem from technology point of view. I'm trying to give as much as I can from business point of view, but forgive me if I'm not. At the level of, because in shipping industry is a huge domain in terms of acronyms, in terms of processes, in terms of procedures, and a lot of wording. So it's a special wording to this maritime sector. We will talk about automated electronic data interchange. We will talk also about smart container, which is a huge change in the maritime and in the shipping industry, this smart container, and how technology are shaping the container industry. And now we can know the container, where is it, and how it is in terms of its conditions, and the goods inside the container and their conditions as well. So we have all these visibility due to data exchange, and due to some data analytics, and also some AI algorithms. We will talk about modern ship automation and control systems. So this is related to vessels, and how vessels are communicating a lot of data with our offices, with the shore offices or other stakeholders. And then we will talk a little bit about the ports, and we will talk about this smart ports, or we call it the digital ports. And I will give an overview about Maersk as an example in terms of this transformation journey and digital transformation, and we will conclude with a conclusion. So bear with me, and if you have any questions, I'm not sure what's the process, whether it's up till the end, or you can feel free. If you have any ideas to share with us, and
Yeah, we leave the presenter to deliver his talk until the end, and we then open the floor to questions. However, if I have questions, because there are some keywords I can rather
Sure.
technical words, I can stop you to understand more. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Yacine.
Not business words, because I'm trying to.
No problem.
Okay, so let's start. I would like to introduce. Since we are talking about this maritime industry, and maritime and the shipping industry, the digital technologies continues to transform all industrial processes over the world, and shipping and logistics are no exceptions. And one international organization which is taking into consideration all these changes is called the International Maritime Organization. And I will just give a brief description about this organization, which is a specialized agency of the United Nations responsible for regulating shipping. And there are two main concerns about this international IMO organization. The first concern is the introduction of the electronic exchange of information as a universal binding requirements for the purpose of facilitating the business and of international maritime traffic. So it's a kind of regulator to govern the data exchange between all the companies that are operating in the maritime traffic. The second concern, which is a big also an important concern, is the standardization of ship reporting in support of e-navigation. So as you may know, the vessels are navigating the seas, so we have to put some regulations, we have to put some lines, we have to put some code of conducts to prevent collisions, to have some standards on navigation. So these data are also governed by this IMO, which is an international organization. The IMO currently has 175 member states. Its headquarters is in UK, in London. and it started in, first meeting is in 1959. So it's a very old organization that is governing this maritime and shipping industry. Let's talk about the business. So the maritime industry, or the logistics in the maritime industry, is, is a very simple, is to enable customers to trade and grow by transporting goods. So the only, it's a very simple phrase, is transporting goods from one place to another. But in this process, there are a lot of processes, there are a lot of technology, because the shipping industry is interacting with a lot of stakeholders. We are talking here about governments, we are talking here about customs, we are talking here about other partners in countries. And the complexity of the shipping is that every all the processes or the operations are country specific. So every country has its specificity, so we cannot standardize everything, and we have to deal with that. China, it has a lot of restrictions in some of the operations. We have some embargo countries as well, so we have to deal with that. And we have some dangers or accidents or a lot of challenges in some of non-safety places, and we have to deal with that. So a lot of impairments are taken into consideration in this industry, and we have to deal with that. And technology is also shaping that and taking into consideration all these impairments and challenges. That's why the business is very, very complicated, because a lot of stakeholders, and the rise of new technologies, or the growth of electronic business, and also the arrival of these new companies in the shipping industry, has made the shipping industry very very open to every interest, but also very complicated in terms of standards and laws and policies that we have to govern and we have to follow. So this is a picture from Maersk, and it's the business is providing customer with a simple end-to-end offering of products and services. And we are talking here about end-to-end because now the shipping companies, they are trying to add value in terms of these small businesses or small services that we can deliver to companies, and also to take from them all these complexities in their supply chain. So that's the added value that the shipping companies are relying on, and they are trying to accomplish. So as I said, in the challenges for the shipping companies, there are three in fact. We have the efficiency, the operations, the performance of our operations, and how technology is impacting the efficiency of our operations. The second one is the energy saving, and a lot of people now, they are talking about how we can save energy, and we are in the shipping industry, a lot of energy is consumed in terms of vessels. So all these debates about green shipping, all these debate about zero CO2 as well. So we have a lot, and this is a competitive advantage as well for the companies. So we have to take that into consideration. And the third one, which is very important, is security and safety of whether security of the data in terms of technology, or security of people, of our people, which are in the ports and the yards or in the vessels. So these are some challenges that the shipping companies are facing every day. So let's start by this efficiency of our operations, and how how technology is shaping or trying to help us perform our operations, and to help our customers also grow with us. Is about a lot of tools, like to have a real-time, for example, the GPS navigation that help us to have a real-time weather data feeds, as well as a smart container, for example, that we will discuss in details. These are just some of the technological redefining the movements of goods, and that give us a lot of data about the goods and about the containers. Ships also will inform ports of what goods are in which container on board long before docking. So we may have all this data before the vessels come into the terminal, and we can do some decision making based on these data. And I remember on the incident that happened in Suez Canal, where there are some, a lot of waiting time for the vessels. So based on our data analytics, so we decided to move our ships from Suez Canal to another ports, and then trigger this inlanding services as well to make sure that our customers are not sad, and we can satisfy their needs. So this is based on decision making and data we have to take these decisions. Container equipment with sensors, and we will see that in details. Radio frequency identification transporter that will register and track for optimized transport and distribution. Here it's mainly for reefer containers, the ones that they put some conditions in terms of temperature as well. So we have some goods that need some certain level of temperature, and our customers need to have that in a safe place, and we have to make sure that these containers are okay. Some telematic systems and databases in freight trucks that help reducing waiting time and bottlenecks in ports by keeping drivers informed of precisely when and where the containers are unloaded. So all that is some examples that we have to know about the states of anything at early stage, so as we can react taking the best decision. In terms of security, in terms of energy saving, this is, as I said, is a big topic about energy saving and about vessels, and this is, as I said, as a competitive advantage for the companies, and from my experience, and Maersk is doing a lot of research in this area, and they have put an objective by 2050. We should have a zero CO2 emission in our vessels. So this is a big challenge, but a lot of research are undergoing right now to reach this objective by 2050. So ship operations and maintenance are also affected by these technological advances. On-board machineries, if we can see that, and equipments are fitted with sensors and transmitters that report performance at early stage. And we can see here some of the energy saving if we can see from the picture that, for example, the weather routing. If we have data about the weather, we can route. The captain can route the vessel, and we can save up to 4% of our energy consumption. Also, we have some efficiency in our pumps and fans. Also, we have some high efficiency in our lighting. Now we are putting solar panels in our vessels that can save energy. So it's all about some technological advances that our vessels are equipped with that help us to save energy and also to gain this competitive advantage in terms of zero CO2 emission. The last impairment is security, which is very important. So as I said, while real-time data on goods in transit will allow a better overview, there is the container ship is also reliant on digital navigation systems that could potentially manipulate it to go off course or even aground. So alongside cyber and property risks, there are a lot of exposures and incidents that we faced every day, let's say, because a lot of in the sea we have a lot of robbery, we have a lot of incidents in our vessels, and we have to cope with that. The last one is about data security. So shipping and logistics companies and software companies and hardware manufacturers as well should cope and should work together to ensure the maximum data of security, because we have a lot of data exchanged between our port terminal to our vessels, to some government authorities, to some customs authorities, to our customers, and to our business offices. So a lot of data exchange that we have to make sure that they are secure. Let's talk about smart container. So as I said, digitalization is shaping the logistics industry, and also it's shaping the container industry. So with this very important platform, which is called remote container management, it's a simple technology. It's a modem and a GPS or a wireless SIM card linked with a satellite link that gives a lot of data, exchanged data with the vessels and also with other parties. So this technology has saved us a lot of money, because we spend a lot of business hours controlling the cargoes and controlling the containers, and also we spend a lot of millions in terms of physical inspections. So to have a smart container, it will avoid all these working hours and all these costs as well. So it's a cost saving. It's a technology that helps us to save costs. So instead of counting on human eyes and hands to inspect and monitor the reefers or the containers, so we have this system that do the job, and it is doing it in a right way. And we have also the visibility on our goods on this container. If there are something which is wrong, we can start, or can trigger a maintenance request, or we can trigger some maintenance initiatives, so as we can have we fix that issue. So
Excuse me, Yacine, I have a question. I mean, when we talk about smart container, and you mentioned like the GPS, SIM card, etc., to exchange data, do you have within a smart container, and I presume yes, sensors that also provides servers with data related to humidity, to temperature,
exact.
cameras maybe to catch up what's happening around the container itself?
We have a lot of sensors. We have transmitters, and we have also sensors to lock the container for safety reasons, to not to open this container. So we have all these parameters. We can control that remotely. Yeah, we have that, and I have a picture in the next slide that describes these sensors in the smart container. So the next slide is about, sorry, I'm using the keyboard rather than the mouse, which is not working. So the smart container, as you said, Huda, so we have a lot of sensors. We have this Bailey, which is a Bluetooth low energy antenna. It's a small antenna that exchange data. And we have, you can access this data via an app in your smartphone, for example. So the captain or the staff in the crew, they don't need to go on every container, because we have for a big vessel, we have 18,000 container in a vessel. So there is no way to go and control everyone. So it's only it's controlled by this remote container management system. And we have this device installed in the shipping line, and we have, if you can see, this dual mode device which attached to the door to prevent for opening the door, unless you have access and you have some credentials to open the door of the container. So otherwise you cannot open it. So everything with the technology, with these tools, everything is controlled, everything is monitored, and the crew is only seeing the dashboard in their offices and in their inside the vessel, and they can monitor everything from the vessel, from the office. Let's talk about, so we talked about the container, we talk about the vessel, and we talk about the port. So that the three big elements that I have chosen to talk about, because they are putting a lot of challenges for us first, and also the technology is doing a lot of change in these three items. So for the vessels, as you can see in the map, so we have this is a navigation system. It's a picture taken from a global application from Maersk. And here we can see all the vessels, whether they are from Maersk or other competitors. So we can see this. And the IMO agency is regulating this traffic, as I said, the International Maritime Organization. So it's like the planes, it's like the flight radar, for example. but it's I mean it every single vessel, if we select a single vessel, you can have all the details about the vessel, number of containers, the I mean the speed of the vessel, the situation of the container. You can go to the container, you can see the situation of the container, its humidity level, its temperature level, the goods in the container, what types of the goods, what is the customer of the goods, and the destination port, the final destination port, or the final destination office, if there is any landing inland services. So everything is in there in this application. So the vessel, for sure, it's sending this data to many partners or many stakeholders, as I said. So that's the complexity of the industry. So the vessel, for example, is send data to the business offices, to our offices first, to inform our customers for the situation of their goods. And also it may send some alarm notification to the ports, to the terminal ports, in case there are any issues, or to give information about when to land and the exact landing time, and if we have any issues, I mean to prepare for that. And also it may send some notification, also alarm notification, to equipment management repair vendors, in case there is an issue with the vessel. So we have to notify these parties before, so as they can be ready for intervention. So a lot of data is exchanged via satellite links. And also one thing is that we can also, in case we have, from IT point of view, I mean, I mean, the vessel, the employees inside the vessel, if they have any issue, for example, with their email system, they can open a ticket and we can remotely go into the vessel and we can solve the issue in their laptop or in their desktop. So it's something which is, I mean, it's like an office for us. The vessel is an asset. It's like an office, and we can do everything remotely with the satellite links. This is the main board, and this is the acronyms that are a little bit business specific. So in the ship, we have let's say a motherboard, and we have the equipments. For example, we have the land, for sure, and this vessel is connected via satellite link, sorry, to our data centers, and the data is exchanged between shipboard data server, which is inside the vessel, with our data centers. And a lot of data is exchanged, like the weather routing, like the performance, the monitoring engine as well, the conditions, the power plant energy management, the remote maintenance. So a lot of data is exchanged between the vessel and our data centers, which are also analyzed and maybe exchanged with our customers to have more visibility on their goods and their products. Okay. So we talked about the smart container. We talked about the vessels. Now we will talk about the ports. And this is, again, there are a huge advancements in terms of technology for the ports and the hub. And I mean, we should be very proud of our terminal or our port in Tangier Med, which is doing a lot of work in terms of digitalization. And we will go through that in a moment. So just as a history, it's the port phase one, which called loading and unloading ports, starts in 1960. The phase two, which called industrial ports, starts in 1980s, and by the end of 1980s, it started also the phase three. But what is important for us is phase four, which started in 2010, and it's called a smart port, which is a digital port. Smart means that being more attractive and innovative in a competitive sense. The smart container the smart port is green, as we can see in next slides, and more connected to logistics. So a lot of connection with a lot of ecosystems and logistics and industrial environments as well. And they are automated ports using new technologies while carrying more and more of the maritime environment. So everything is automated, the trucks, the vehicles. And now in some of the ports, we are ready to receive vessels with automated vessels or autonomous vessels, which are driverless vessels. And in the near future, we may have vessels with no one in the crew. So the vessel will go from A to B, from destination, from source to destination, without any captain, without any crew inside the vessel. And this is a huge step, towards the technological advances. These some of the ports. I will present three. So I've chosen these three ports based on the location first. But before, we will talk about the three ecosystems, and we will talk about the impairments in terms of ports, and how we were suffering in the past, and what's the limitation in terms of the planning management, the port management, and the cargo management. So these are the three main management operations that the port is responsible for. So in the past, there is no access to the data to best manage the terminals. We don't have any visibility on the vessel, on the situation of the containers and the vessels. We have a lack of operational intelligence to provide the smart analysis of decision-making process. In terms of port management, we have a lack of cargo information infrastructure. We have a lack of visibility as well in terms of for the different stakeholders. So we don't have this exchanged information or exchanged data between the vessel and the other stakeholders. And the container tracking is very limited. So it's really a very limited data that we can take from the vessel and from the container, because we don't have this remote container management platform. From cargo management, this VGM, which is verified gross mass, which is the weight of an ocean shipment's cargo plus the tonnage plus the passings. So it's a whole pack of masses that we calculate. It's a business word as well. And in the past, there is no need to change the bill of lading, and the bill of lading is the most important document that you have that to have idea on the goods. So you need to have this bill of lading documents if you need to get your goods. So traffic and trade in the smart ports, the bill of lading is well prepared ahead. So before the container reaches the ports, so we have the bill of lading with all the details. So that's the difference.
I presume it is digital. It means it's.
It is digital. Yes. Yeah. So, as I said, I've chosen three ports which are in different areas in globally. So the Shanghai port, which is in Asia, which is the world's busiest and largest container port container, with high traffic and dense population. So this Shanghai port is also it includes crane, truck, and vehicle automations. So the cranes and the vehicles, they don't have any driver. It's a driverless equipment. This port also uses 5G network, which is the only one in right now in the world. A key smart port technology as well, using this 5G network. And it is considered one of the most technologically advanced ports, and aiming to create green and high technical terminals as well. So Shanghai port is an example for us, for Maersk at least. The Rotterdam port, which is also a digital port, it's the large port in Europe, and it has a real-time monitoring of all its operations. And we are now doing some pilot tests on this automatic ports, cranes and trucks as well, so to have the same as Shanghai port in Rotterdam. Los Angeles port, which is also a largest container in North America. Cargo operation dashboard to see in real time the operational status. And in 2020, the port of Los Angeles and IBM has decided to agree on a deal to create a cyber resilience center at their ports. So it's a contract which will help to reduce the risks of cybersecurity issues with cargo and information sharing, and also it will help the port to make their cargo flow more efficiently and more securely. So IBM is our partner in Los Angeles port. Port and the digital. This picture is from Tangier, and I know you know it. So it's our I mean honor to have a port like that. I mean, which is I mean, since I've joined Maersk, Tangier Med is selected whenever we have a global rollout of any application. So it's selected as a pilot site, and which is a good thing for Morocco. So it has more than 200 cargo vessels per day, and the port connects to 186 ports in 77 countries, and it's the world's first digitally controlled port arrival streams. So it's a huge work done, and our friends there, they are doing a good work. I mean, to have a port which is in top 10 right now, and top 1 in Africa and Mediterranean region. So it's really an honor for us, and we have to be proud of that. And all of the, I mean, the staff and the employees, they are Moroccans. So it's really a good thing. Let's skip this YouTube video and see if we have time next by the end, and we will do it.
Okay. We still have around 45 minutes. I mean, 15 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So I will go through Maersk case and try to do some marketing as well to Maersk. So it's
No problem. No problem. You're welcome.
the opportunity. So in Maersk, we have in 2000, and so it's a leader in the shipping industry, in the container shipping industry globally, and our revenue for 2021 it's $26 billion for this year, for last year. Our employees are about 85k or more, so employees, and we have 700 vessels, including Hamburg Süd. So Hamburg Süd is a newly acquired company, a German company. So we have a 700 vessels, and we are present in 130 countries over the world. So we are doing. We are operating on 378 ports, and we have approximately 34 million for containers, and we are calling about 51,000 port call every year. So it's really a huge number of in terms of operations, and a huge number of vessels as well. So it's number one globally. Our headquarters is based in Copenhagen, in Denmark, and we are present in 130 countries as well. Okay, so I'm trying to give a little bit, a description about the company, and then trying to go through the vision, and from the vision we can take the digital transformation priority, and we can explore what's in there. So that's my planning for this session. So the vision is enabling and creating opportunities in the global trade, and we have 4 pillars for this strategy. We have cost leadership, for sure. We have revenue growth, customer centricity, and the digital transformation that, as I said, we started some years ago, trying to automate our operational model and try to digitize all our processes. So let me just talk about the digital transformation in this how the strategy, the Maersk strategy is coping with this pillar, with this digital transformation. So we have created a business unit. We have created a separate, let's say, company which called Maersk Growth, and is the venture arm of the group, with the mission to digitize and decarbonize the supply chains for Maersk. And the aim is also to unlock growth and invest and partner with promising startups. So we are trying to find and to search for startups that may change the supply chain processes we whether we invest on them or we participate. So I give you the first one is called Trailer Truck, which is a little bit the same as Uber. So it's a mobile app, but this is for containers for trucks. So whenever you have I mean, it's making trucking efficient, reliable, and convenient. So it's the same business model as Uber, and we have invest on this small startup, and base. I mean, with this Maersk growth is doing a lot of job. The second example I would like to mention here is Load Smart, which is a logistic solution providers. So its mission is to automate how freight is priced, booked, and shipped. So it's if we can see from outside, it's a very small application, but it's doing a lot of added value services. So that's why I mean the company is trying to invest on these startups, because they are adding a lot of value to our company first and to our customers again. So these are
So
some of
those
the examples.
startups are located in Morocco, or you are
No, no,
talking
no, no,
about
no, no.
startups worldwide? Yeah.
No, no, they are worldwide. They are worldwide,
Okay.
not in Morocco. Yeah, but they are
But I
serving
mean,
customers.
maybe
They are
the
serving
next
customers
startup will
worldwide.
be located in Morocco. Who
Why
knows?
not? Why not? with
Need to
with with
encourage our the young students into creating value like that, and offering, like you as you said, it's a small application, but in essence, it is doing a very huge job to Maersk, and
yeah,
this is why they
yeah.
adopted it.
That's right. It's the idea behind the application. It's the business model as well, and also is the value proposition, which is the most important. How they can contribute on the value proposition to our customers. So it's not very easy, but I mean, once you have the idea, once you have the business model and the proposition, it's very simple to deploy that or to implement that. So as I said, yes, we can hope that our young people as well, with this huge programs in digital Morocco or Morocco digital. So a lot of, and our ministry as well is doing a lot of work. So we hope that we will reach a certain uh, period of time. We will reach this. I mean, to have our young with the startups, and we partner with them as well. Who knows? Okay, so we are split in 6 regions and 28 areas. We in more than 130 countries, giving Maersk a strong focus on both sales and customer service. And so we are everywhere in the world, and a lot of presence and offices, business offices, whether in the countries, or we have some partners in some of other countries with some political instability situations. So we did have some partners there. I'm talking about Iran, for example. We talk about Sudan in a certain moment, and some embargo countries, North Korea, and so we have some partners, and we have also our offices in a lot of countries. I would like to mention this because it's very important. The liner. So we have a business office. I mean, how we are structured in Maersk. Not only in Maersk, but all the shipping companies. We have the business offices, which are the front for our customers, and we have the terminals. We have some offices in the terminals that deal with the vessels and the containers, and we have warehousing and distribution offices as well, which is a new business for Maersk. It's not a new, but I mean, we try to accelerate the growth of these added services. But we have the liner operation clusters, which called LOC. So these liner operations clusters, they are responsible for maintaining the schedules of the vessels. And if you can see the split worldwide, they are in Al Jazeera's, trying to monitor all this Mediterranean Sea. We talk about the Suez Canal, and we talk about Gibraltar as well. And we have an LOC in Panama to control and monitor the canal, the Panama Canal as well. We have the LOC in Charlotte. We have one in Rotterdam, because Rotterdam is the biggest port in Europe. And we have three others in Asia, and we have one in Cape Town, an LOC in Cape Town. So its main mission is to control the schedule of vessels, to coordinate and monitor port productivity as well, and also to have an insight on all the data exchange between the vessels and the ports. And I had the privilege to install a global application in Al Jazeera some years ago about, having all these 20 screens connected to 20 different applications that, the control room can see that and control that in a central room that will control everything from one room. So it's really advanced technology used in LOC, and they are also going digital on all their processes. The last, let's say, business unit is warehousing and distribution. As I said recently, Maersk has decided, has taken the decision to accelerate their growth in this warehousing distribution. And the idea is to have these end-to-end services. So it's not only transporting goods from port A to port B, but transporting goods from customer A to customer B, including the whole value chain, including also the warehousing and distribution. So if you are a company and you don't have a warehouse, we can take care of that, and we can put the goods in our warehouse. And whenever you are ready, you can take the goods from our warehouse. So the warehousing services to provide facilities ready to handle your supply chains, and also ready to distribute your goods whenever the customer wants. And this is really an added value which makes our end-to-end services very, very competitive. So we have a lot of warehousing services split over the world, but it's a growing market, it's a growing business, and we are just starting that. And I know that a lot of discussions and negotiations with Morocco authorities as well to build and to implement one warehousing in Morocco, covering all North Africa and West African countries. I have 2 minutes. I hope that I will. So I would like also to mention these global service centers, which are, Maersk is putting a global service centers to accelerate their not only their digitalization process or this transformation, digital transformation, but also to improve its customer services as well, and also to improve their financial services, to improve their support services for our customers. And there is an intensive program run by Maersk, which offers external, these global service centers, a lot of added value to our teams, whether internally or externally. And we have 7 global service centers split across 4 countries. And again, we have one in Tangier, which is a good thing. To go through some details, so we have a global service center specialized in the commercial services. So one team customer service dealing with one team providing support to our customers. One team sales land side transportation and operations. And also we have the GSC transformation, which deals with all these transformations, whether they are digital transformations or other transformations. So there we have a global service center in India and Pune, and in India and Philippines. As I said, we have the finance service as well delivered from global service centers, and the digital priorities for global service centers. Here, what I'm interested in is just to show you how these global service centers put technology priorities to help us in this journey, in this digital transformation. And I am put in here some of the priorities. First is to modernize our legacy system with and change it with a new digital platform. And we have migrated all our data to our 3 data centers to Azure, Microsoft Azure. So we have gained expertise from Microsoft, and we have also we have done a lot of benchmarking before, and we have done a lot of due diligence work to decide on our partner. And hopefully Microsoft has done the job, and we have now all our data centers in the cloud. Automations and IoT enablement as well, which is a technology priority. Data assets, which is in the cloud. And so Maersk is structured in terms of technology on platforms. So we have a data platform, we have an application platform, and we have a security platform. So these are the big main platforms we have in technology. And we have a lot of teams spread over the world that are contributing on these platforms, supporting these platforms, or innovating and working on new products. The technology strategy, as I said, with these priorities, we have put some key enablers. Some of them, they are already, they are present already in the company, and some of them, they are new to the company. So let's start with the first one, with keeping Maersk secure, and by operationalizing the CSP program deliverables. So it's everything about security, since we have a lot of data exchanged. So our data is in the cloud, as I said, under this data platform, and we have to secure that. The second key enabler is to successfully enable the platform delivery to create business value and competitive advantage. The third one is to successfully deliver the change roadmap. So every transformation is a change, and we have to make sure that we deliver that change very successfully. The fourth one is the service delivery of what is expected, with less variability and improved stability. So we have to stabilize our platforms, and we have to deliver what is expected within the standards. The fifth one is move to cloud and cloud automation leveraging. So as I said, with the shipping challenges, industry challenges, and also this interconnection with some of the departments in the countries. Some of the countries do not cope with some of the technological advancements. So we have to make sure that all this information system platform is put inside the country, and we cannot move it to the cloud. So that's why we have this journey of moving to the cloud. Whenever we have we meet these standards, we cope with this bandwidth issues, for example. So we move the local applications to the cloud, because we have a lot of local applications specific to the countries in terms of interconnecting between Maersk systems and the customs systems. The next one is to integrate brands and M&A to expectations. So as I said, we have a lot of M&A activities, and I've just finished working on a service catalog establishment for an M&A activity of Hamburg Süd. So it's onboarding Hamburg Süd in terms of services delivered, and make sure that the service offering cope with the standards of Maersk of Hamburg Süd users. So that's an M&A activity as well. Run cost saving as well. So we have a dilemma between the run and build, and our CEO said that we have to make sure that we are running 30% of our budget, and we are building 70%, so as to encourage on innovation and investments. So we have to cut costs, the running costs, so as not to make a saving, but to have more freedom to invest on new technology and to invest on new tools. The last one is our people. we have to build world-class technical capabilities in our technology team, and we have to make sure that our partners are transforming their knowledge to our teams, so as we can bridge that gap in terms of technical skills and make sure that we build our internal capability. So these are the key enablers for our technology. As a conclusion, digital technologies will continue to transform industrial processes all over the world, including shipping and logistics. Uh, all the time, cybersecurity risks is an issue, and I mean all these new technologies, AI and IoT. So we have to also to invest and in the security field, and we have to make sure that our data is secure. With emergence of big data and increasingly interconnected technologies, a second digital revolution is taking shape, and the logistics and shipping industry is also has to follow on that. So, as a tips during our transformation journey, so we focus on outcomes for the customers. That's the first priority for us. We learn from our mistakes, and we are aware that the tech trends come and go, and also for any transformation, we have to be more agile. That's the end. So I will just see if I can run a video
Okay.
about the terminal
Thank
of
you
the
very much,
future.
Yacine, for the presentation. It's really full of data information that is very, useful to both. For our community, whether students or professional. Before you run the video, I have a question. Can you give us
Yep.
like some kind of AI application that Maersk have adopted, or any kind of artificial intelligence applications that you have adopted within the company?
So we have AI application. So I will not say the name, but it's for the pricing and the booking. So
Okay.
it's an AI to decide on the pricing of depending on the routes, depending on the economical situation, depending on the destination and the source, and a lot of parameters to decide on the price between, for example, how much a reefer container will cost me from China to Morocco. So the cost of this container today is not the same as tomorrow, or it's not the same as yesterday. So there is an AI application which decide on the cost or the price of the container of the container logistics path.
Okay. Okay.
So can you see the?
Yeah, I can see the slide, Vision of the Future 2060. I don't know if you
Can you
launched the
run this
video or
video
not.
from your end?
No, no, I can't. I just see your screen. Maybe if you can share your screen and then run the video from your end.
Okay.
Is it a YouTube video?
Yes.
Well, if you can send me the link, and I can add it to the chat on our YouTube channel, and our community can access it either today or later.
Sure.
But
It's a
you
really
can
a
double
nice
also.
video. It's
Okay.
I mean, it's giving a view on how the goods are shipped from A to B with a highly advanced technology. So it's zero manual intervention from A to B, from a farm in Kenya to to a destination in Europe or in America. So it's really a nice video. But let me see.
So, if I have also another question for you, Yacine, what can you
Yes.
advise to our students that want to join? This shipping industry, and what is your advice to them, whether they are from SSE or from SBA or from SHSS?
So the first thing is that the shipping industry is still lacking, I mean, regulations and governance, because a lot a lot of stakeholders and a lot of parties which are connected to the supply chain. So as I said, we are talking here about local authorities, which every country has its own policies. We are talking here about customs. So customs regulations, it's not the same as of Morocco and other countries. But also the shipping industry is lacking this advancement in terms of technology. We still have a lot of papers exchanged between us and our customers. So I think it's really a big, a huge, room of improvements, and startups will have a lot of chances to work with the giants, with the maritime companies and shipping industry companies.
I'm trying to copy the link and then share it in the chat for our audience. Okay. Here we are. They can access it from the chat. Okay, thank you very much. I think we are up, out of time now. We are 1 hour past 52 seconds. Let me check if there are any questions from audience. Not really. I saw many of my students watching.
Really?
Because I know that I swear, because they sent some messages. Yeah, but there are mainly no questions. But I believe that, yeah. If you have any questions, please, the audience, you can just drop them by chat on YouTube, and I will just tell them to ask Yacine on your behalf. I have here maybe Shakir Taibi. He says hi.
Oh,
Or nice.
Shakib.
It has been a long time. Well, to not make it longer, Yacine, thank you very much for accepting the invitation, and wishing to see you face to face in another presentation at AUI.
Sure, inshallah. Thank you,
We
Huda.
are really happy to welcome you at Al Akhawain University to either deliver this kind of talk to one of my classes or to all Al Akhawain University students. Thank you very much for accepting the invitation. Have a nice end of the
Thank you,
week.
the audience, and thanks for the team.
And
You too. Thank you.
thank you very
Cheers.
much.